There's the red box. It says we're live. Oh my goodness. Hey family, it is a special night for me. You all have no idea. Uh, I am Siobhan Arline Bradley here on one of my favorite nights. Monday night is my favorite night because it's Black Media Monday night. And let me just tell you, we are excited to be here tonight with NCNW. Shout out to all the NCNW folks. If you are on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, share this because the people are about to hear it tonight. Okay. Welcome to a new show that I'm so proud to bring to our audience. And it's called Black Media Monday, where we are elevating Black excellence in media. And this is important because we bring Black media experts to share their insights and strategies, highlighting the importance of the Black press in telling our stories. Hear me, for us, by us, all about us. Amen, somebody.
Amen.
And we do it at least 2 Mondays out of every month. And during this time of misinformation and disinformation, listen, the culture, the people, we need to understand who can we trust in this moment. And I like to bring the people we can trust. Now, let me just say this. This is a personal favorite guest of mine. I will tell you, we are in the 4th iteration of this show. This is our 4th guest. And I know this is going to be a great show because I know the heart of this awesome sister that you see before you. She is a political strategist, media executive. Oh, that's so good. And national commentator who my dad talks about every night. Like, oh, I saw her on the screen. So shout out, Daddy. She's right here with us. She is shaping the conversation on race, policy, and power in America. This sister is the owner with a capital O, owner and publisher of The Root and the founder and CEO of Watering Hole Media, where she leads culturally grounded journalism and storytelling at the intersection of democracy, culture, and politics. Now, if that wasn't enough for you to get excited, she has also served as a senior official in the Obama-Harris president of Obama White House, and later coalition director for the Biden-Harris campaign, where she led 300 staff and fellows to help build the most diverse coalition of voters in modern political history. Yes, she was also the executive vice president of the LCCR Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. This woman has done work in the Obama campaign in Ohio because she is from Ohio. Yes, she is. She's from Ohio. And in 2025, when she acquired The Root, this influential digital platform founded by Henry Louis Gates, marking the iconic platform for Black ownership and ushering in a new chapter of bold, rigorous, culturally resonant storytelling. And if you don't know her, then you must turn on your television for those that still watch TV. Because she's a CNN political pundit, and you are going to see her tonight live on NCNW's Black Media Monday. For the people in the front, the back, her name is the one and only Ashley Allison. Ashley Allison's in the building.
Hey,
Hey, how
hey, girl.
are you?
I am living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am breathing.
Amen.
I'm tired. I am blessed.
Mhm.
Uh, Fighting, and
Mhm.
I am frustrated. But I am here, and I couldn't think of a better place. This is my sister, girl, y'all. Y'all don't know, like, this is my big sister, like, big sister. So,
Shout out to you. And listen, I might cry. I am so proud of you, Ashley Allison. Just knowing all of the work that you have done. And we're gonna level set tonight because first things first, right? You literally stand 10 toes down on a public platform almost every single night. Like I'm always like, what time is she coming on? It's like, when is Ashley coming on? You are on CNN mainly, really giving us this context around what it means to live in a society that we're living in right now. So talk to us. What is the role of the press from your standpoint when it comes to a free society? How do you see the press? And then I want to dig deeper into the Black press.
yeah. I'm a millennial, right? I'm an older millennial. So the press to me is you get your newspaper, you watch the evening news.
Yes.
That's the press before I was 18. The
Yes.
press after I was 18 was that I'm on Black Planet, I'm on MySpace, I'm on Facebook, I'm on all the things, and now it's digital. So I lived in the best of both worlds, quite
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
And I think the evolution of the press, that story is still being written. But what I think the importance of the press, regardless if it's in a newspaper that gets thrown on your yard or the evening news or a 90-second clip, is that it is truth, is that it is factual, is that it is unbiased. There is a space for opinion and commentary, but that is not the news. The news is research, it is reported on, and even if you don't like the outcome of the story has to be told. And I think we're in a real critical moment right
Come
now
on.
of what the press is going to be, because we have people who are trying to diminish the fourth estate. And for folks who are like, well, what's the fourth estate? You know, you have the three branches of government, the executive, the legislative, and the
And
judicial.
yep.
Such an important pillar because the fourth estate tells the story of what those three things do, and they tell
Mm.
it without any persuasion or colluding. And I think the question right now is, can the press sustain it despite what we are facing in this country?
Yeah, and I think one of the things that this is why this we even decided to do this. When I told my team, I said, "Listen, the country is going through a tailspin as it relates to information." And when you think about the black community is constantly getting barraged with all these different messages. And let's talk about it, right? You got AI on
Yeah.
top of bots, on top of things that just are really being fed in our algorithms. And so there's concerted efforts to target the black community. Now you are the owner of the root,
Yeah.
okay? Talk about this. First of all, why did you want to own the root? I wanna ask, I wanna get the let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Why did you wanna do this? And then what was your goal with this kind of platform when you think about the kind of news, the kind of messaging that the black community actually needs?
Yeah. So just to your first point about the bombardment, the infiltration of disinformation, misinformation, AI, I think, can be used for good if used properly, and if the people who are creating it understand the layers and complexity. I think that the Black community is being bombarded with these tactics because they understand the role the Black community plays in setting culture and the way culture plays a role in setting policy and the way policy plays a role in changing people's lives. So one of the reasons why I think we are a prime target for mis and disinformation is because of our power to shape the narrative.
That's right.
So that actually leads to why I wanted to own the root, right? It's like, if I have a friend who says, if content is king, so like what we're doing right now is king, distribution is the emperor. And what
Ooh.
is we have a lot of folks who create content, but how are we reaching the masses? And the
Yes.
way the masses is through ownership of distribution channels. And so I had wanted to buy a property over the last 4 years. I have been looking at many. The root, as often say in interviews, is one of many properties that I wanna acquire, not for my own personal gain, not for my own
Right.
person, but for communal power, so that the 12 to 15 million people that visit theroot.com
Mhm.
every single month, 12 to 15 million people every single month, we at the root, me as the owner, get to decide what that content is that they
Come
receive.
on.
Now, what they receive, I have a great deal of responsibility to be factual, what I said in my first answer, to be honest, to be responsible. And so that was why I wanted to own the root, is because we find ourselves, I love working at CNN. I love working at CNN, but I do not own CNN. I
Fair.
work right? And we know that there is a difference in power. And I think there's great partnership between the root and CNN that could do, but I don't own CNN. CNN might get sold for all I know, you know? And then where does that leave me? So ownership is key. Ownership gives
Mm.
opportunity to have a home at the root. All our other Black civil rights organizations to have a home root. And at the end of the day, like, journalism was what I went to college for. It is my love. It is my first love professionally. And it
Yeah.
feels good have this full circle moment where a publication that meant so much to me in my career development, I'm able now to pour back into.
Yeah, and let me just say this in terms of your analysis on ownership. I love this idea of having our own space. We are the only Black and woman-owned building on Pennsylvania Avenue, right? The
That's
ability that's a big deal,
that's a big deal. Like,
and come
there are
on.
don't understand what that means because they don't understand what Pennsylvania Avenue means because maybe they've never come to Washington DC, but, like, the White House and the Capitol, the powers of structure, and you
Come
got
on.
NC
In the middle of it.
in the middle, standing in the gap.
Shout out to Dorothy Irene Height right in
Let me
this
tell
moment.
you, for the vision,
That's
for
vision.
the of what it meant to own. And I think about it because let me tell you something, like, everyone didn't say yes for me to own the route, right? Everyone didn't say it was a good idea. And I'm sure, I know,
You
even
know,
though I wasn't there, no, everyone didn't say to Dr. Height, "Go buy that building." Everyone probably wouldn't give her the money she needed to go buy that building. But what God has for you,
it's for
He will
you.
plan hundreds of years ago,
That's real. That's good
millions
stuff.
ago,
It's good.
for it out in this moment to stand in the gap.
And I think the and I even in this moment of watching us on this screen, I'm seeing the text message already, like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it is the truth.
It's the
It
truth.
is important to create space so that our people can hear that vision begets vision. Right? You
Mhm.
got you gotta see it before you see it. And when you think about your ability to force, you know what? If I can own this platform, I can control the content, I can filter what needs to be filtered, and I can ensure my people have something that's for them. And let me just say this why I wanted to highlight Black media excellence. Because what I am realizing is that even some of my own folks that have my skin, right, may not have my context. Like, I'm
Mhm.
learning that Black skin does not always mean Black context,
That's right.
the way that I understand it. And so when I look at you and I look at those of you and your colleagues that are in the press that actually are independently doing their work, why would you say the Black press is such a trusted source to fight disinformation and misinformation? Why the Black press? Why the Black platforms?
Yeah, well, I think about there's 2 stories that come to mind. I think about the
Yeah.
story of Bill, right? And that how his mother required that his face be printed on a black so that the people see what they did to her baby, not her,
Yes.
and the role that Jet played in that, a black publication. I also think of, I hope I don't get it wrong, WERD in Atlanta. Um, so the story goes that Martin Luther King's office was a floor below the one of the only black syndicated radio stations.
Ah.
And wanted to get a message out to the people, he would take a broom and go boom, boom, boom on the ceiling, and the radio station would drop the microphone out of the window down to him. That's people power, and that's the ability to distribute, right?
Yes.
Working together. So when I think about the role and when you think about what Emmett Till did to catalyze this conversation, when you think about what the images of Bloody Sunday did to catalyze that, and when you think about what the strong black woman who took her phone out to record George Floyd being murdered with a police knee on his neck, that is the power of the black press. When you think of Don Lemon and Georgia Fort and the 2 other journalists that
Yes.
story. They didn't get their break. They didn't become famous because of the arrest. They built their career on telling stories that happened before that moment, and the community was able to stand with them because they were truth tellers. That's the power of the black press. If we don't tell our story, somebody else will.
And let me tell you, you're hearing it first. NCNW family. This is Ashley Allison, owner and publisher of The Root, CNN commentator, my sister, 10 toes down,
10 toes down.
and one of the country's finest as it relates to journalism. And I want to just say that your platform is a platform that we want to promote, right? NCNW will always shout out Black platforms. So the reason why The Root is here tonight is because The Root is one of those platforms we trust. I want you
Mhm.
to hear me say it out loud. NCNW trusts this platform. So we have 30 now 38 national affiliate organizations.
Mm.
We're in now 33 states, over 400 sections, 113 college sections. It's out of control. And the
Yeah.
growth lets me know that the people are hungry to
Yes.
understand truth. And so let me talk to you about this in terms of the press and its independence from the government because um I'm
Mhm.
the independence has got me nervous. Um I'm not seeing in our current political infrastructure right now, particularly with this current administration, I'm concerned about the overreach. I'm
Mm.
concerned about, quite frankly, the hijacking of
Mhm.
messaging, of networks. What is happening in this space where the media and the mainstream politics have clashed so much that you don't know who or what you can trust? In this moment, how do the people decipher?
Yeah. In this moment, I think we are in a moment that we have never seen before in our country. But I would imagine that was what our ancestors felt on Juneteenth. We are a moment of freedom that we have never experienced in this country. The question is what you do with the moment. Okay. So, for example,
Yep.
I don't know what this administration is doing to overreach into the government. What I know is what I am doing. And what the people have to do in this moment is support the people who know what they are doing in this moment, right? And I think I don't think I know it takes courage. It takes courage. I believe it's my assignment to go on CNN and speak truth to power every single day. And there may be a time I don't get to do that at some point. And when that time comes, I will still have a platform because I will always have my own voice to say it. But I think
Right.
that there is real concern that press can be compromised right now, but you can't think that there have never been moments when administrations try to interfere with the coverage of the press. There just
Mm.
always have been. The question is the courage of the people in the press. The press is just like an amorphous theory if the people don't have the courage to do the job they are called to do. And when someone because I wanna say this, I respect the fact that you trust the root, but I said this to the readers the day after we announced. We may not always get it right.
That's
And
good.
in the moment of error, I ask you to call us out with compassion because
Yeah.
I am not a perfect person and this publication is not a perfect entity. But in a moment of error, ask to call out with compassion and know we are trying to move with great intent. But sometimes we'll get it wrong. But it's the ability when you do something wrong, like tweet a meme,
Come on, can we have the
say,
conversation, please?
"Hey, my bad. My bad.
Let's have the
My
conversation.
that was wrong. That was wrong."
You just opened up the can of worms. I'm jumping in here first. Let's go. We got to talk about this. I think what you said one was the reason why I do trust the root, right? Because there is a sense of accountability to the profession.
Mhm,
There is clarity that human error does occur,
mm,
and when you can own your mistake, when you can take accountability, when you can not just acknowledge, but acknowledge, take the accountability, and then adjust, like
and
that's
be better.
you gotta get better.
Better.
You can't just stay in it. We are in Black History Month, and in Black History Month, we saw
Mm,
a troubling image of the former First Lady and former President of the United States, who happened to be the only Black leadership that this country has ever had.
mhm,
And I gotta just say this: when it comes from the President of the United States X account. At this point, it becomes a sanctionable statement, whether it's an image or not.
mhm,
The NCNW and other civil rights leaders have publicly come out to not only talk about this sickness, what we call racism, but I just got to deal with the fact that we have started talking about this earlier, but I want to connect it. That there are some Black pundits who are like, "Oh, no, you're overreacting." And we really have to deal with the truth here. You
Mhm.
cannot be an American and not know that there's a connection between the depiction of African Americans as monkeys, as apes, whatever you wanna call it.
Mhm.
And mind you, my 11-year-old son was like, "Wait a minute, mom,
Wait a minute.
that's not what's in the cartoon." I mean, I'm talking about my baby, right? So, even the babes, the mouth of babes will share the
Yeah.
truth.
Yes.
So talk to us about when you see things like this in media, social media, traditional media, whatever it is. What's the role of the Black press in this moment? How do we respond in this moment?
Well, first of all, let me just say this. I don't
Please.
care if there were monkeys and apes in the movie.
Hello? Hello? Can they hear me? Can they hear you?
I don't care. No,
Hello?
no, ma'am. Okay, that's the first thing. Because that whole thing is no, 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 no. Let's just because don't Planet Apes me either. Okay, no, because
Don't.
then they'll flip right. Like you don't that. So what is the role of the press? Is to tell the truth. Is to speak
That's
history.
right.
The reason why I do. I fundamentally believe I'm 43 years old. I went to college with people who were taught that slavery was good for this country.
Absolutely.
I met them. I met people in
For
college. I'm
sure.
40. Well, that means I went to college in the 2000s, the early 2000s. That is not that the internet existed, cell phones existed. I'm not that old. I went to college and somebody called me colored. I've
Yes.
monkey before. I've been called the N-word before. Heck, I heard the N-word in August. Okay. So we're not that far removed. I do believe there are people that sit and live without the information that they need. The role of the press is to provide them that information, whether or not they want to hear it. It is not to coddle them. And in some instances, that comes to me when I hear things and I'm like, "Oh, the X and Y and the Z." It's a blanket statement. The truth is the truth no matter who the audience is. That's the first thing. The second thing is I think we have a responsibility to dissect it a layer deeper. It is easy to say that it is racist. It is explaining why it is racist. It explaining why it is and why Black people are concerned, not just because of the historical context, but because of the present reality of what racism may mean when it exists in the White House and the halls of power that make policies around healthcare, around voting, around education, around our health, around around our economy. If 300,000 Black women are losing their job, you could feel comfortable with that if you think they are less than human.
That's right. That's right.
If you can't read at grade level, you can feel comfortable with that if you think they are not smart enough because they are an animal. So there is a tie. Now, I will just say this, sisters, because I think we deserve the right to protect our peace. Everybody plays a different role in this moment. I think my role in this moment is to speak truth to power. And when people are open to hearing a different perspective, I will wage the war and begin to have that conversation. I wasn't there 8 years ago. I was like, "No, else." I'm there now. If you're not that person, find the role that you have in this assignment. But as the press, I believe that we are supposed to report on the truth. And when people have follow-up questions, we have a responsibility to answer them, and answer them in truth and fact and honesty and not be afraid of it.
I think it dawned on me that you just said this, but if you can see me as an ape, you can then decide that healthcare is not my right. You can make a decision if you see me as less than human. I think that's profound what you said, Ashley. And I realized this. This is really why our country has had a thwarted framework
Mhm,
because the value that we place on each other through imagery, through
mhm,
words, through content. That's why the press is so important.
mhm.
And that's why even what we put into the eyes and ears of our young people is so critical. And as you're watching these movements, the things that have been happening all over the country, and how the media covers and what messages are being said, and how people are just now, you're just allowed to do whatever you want. There was a time that decency and decorum.
I
I mean, I tell people all the
I
time,
know,
racists had to follow the law,
I know,
and yet now I'm watching you have to literally defend
I know,
decency.
I know. It's like sometimes it's wild.
You're like,
Like, sometimes I'll go,
I might be a
uh,
punk.
into the green right. Sometimes I'll go in the green room and be like, "I just wanna make sure, like, we're all on the same page here, right?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay, alright, like, let me reground my." That's why sometimes I'm like, "Can we just start with some baseline principles? Like, can we agree that this word means this? Can we agree that
You go
the
to the
re
basics.
the basics, right? Because I can't argue, like, I don't have children, but, children, if they're telling you that, like, their tummy hurts because they ate broccoli, like, you are not allergic to broccoli, you are not your tummy hurts because you don't want broccoli.
You
You
don't
know what I
want
mean?
it.
Like, right. So, I just yeah.
That
But I just share something with the audience real quick. I know we're probably coming on time soon, but I wanted to share it when you asked me another question. So for folks that don't know about my relationship with Siobhan, I met Siobhan when I was a college student, and we had the honor and privilege to actually spend time with Dr. Height. And
absolutely.
I say that because I think it's important because you're talking about the college campuses that you are on. See, Dr. Height poured into me when I was in college. So now I can pour into the women on the campus at NCW now that they are in college. Right? Like, I got to sit at the feet of some of the greats that talked about the courage. I can do what I do because they planted something in me. Now, she didn't know who I was gonna be or what I was gonna do, but she knew that there was a purpose on my life and that I poured in. So and I was confused. Siobhan would be like, "Girl, get it
What are
together."
you
Like,
doing?
but they saw power in, like, what if I was my inner,
Amen.
and I really do find that important because one of the biggest lessons that I learned while I was in college, because I was surrounded by all of you, is that for Black women, is important for the press, but particularly for Black women, is for us to teach the lessons that we learned so that other generations don't, they can get better and smarter and don't have to make some of the same mistakes. And so
Yeah.
the one, all the young people out there, there are going to, it's like what Benito said last night, and that he was like, believe in yourself. And
Yourself.
believe in yourself. I mean it, because there were people who told me I wasn't gonna be able to do this. There were people who told me it was a bad idea just last year when I was about to acquire this thing. There were people who told me back when I was in college I would never be able to be on national television, but I believed that this was the assignment I had on my life. And it was not always easy. Did I think I should have got it 10 years ago? Yes, but was I ready for it 10 years ago? No. So whatever you feel like is on your life right now, nurture it. Surround yourself with the Siobhan R. Bradleys of the world that will pour into you. And every time they see you, chapter after chapter in your life will say, redirect you, guide you, pat you on the back, love you, and good.
Mm,
Bad. That's so important right now because the biggest thing that will allow us to lose in this moment is fear and isolation.
wow. Reverend, did you just get your license to preach? What is happening?
I just buried my pastor this weekend, honestly.
Whoa.
And he was I'm gonna speak his name, Reverend Clinton Miller out of Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
I gave my life to Christ at that church. I was
Oh,
baptized in church. That was my church in my whole 20s. And there is
yeah.
just something weighing on my heart about, he was 58 years old, what he poured into me.
Yeah.
Fear and isolation can be deadly, and that is what the enemy wants us to feel right now, and that is what we must resist with all of our power. Because when we are in sisterly community, that bond cannot be broken.
Listen, y'all, we are getting not only a God moment right now. One, I want to shout out Dr. Miller in as he transitions to heaven. Amen. And I say his name. I speak your dad's name. I speak all of those that have gone before us. I think about Alexis. Alexis Herman would be
Oh,
just out of
she
control
would
right
know.
now. It is a joy to be in this moment. I'm gonna do this because we do this at the end of every segment.
Okay.
And so now that I'm not about to fall out now, about to cry. Black Media Monday is where we highlight Black media excellence, and every guest has to finish this statement. All right. Here's your statement. Black media excellence to me is
living boldly, unapologetically, proudly, joyfully
Yeah.
in God's divine assignment for your life.
Yeah, where's the T-shirt for that one? I mean,
I'm this is a s
God.
we're it is just in God's the message that is on me this year is my assignment.
Mm,
What is
mm,
our assignment, folks? There is an
mhm.
assignment on everybody's life right now, and your assignment is only yours. They will try and tell you it's not yours. They will try and distract you. They will try and make you compete. It's yours. And if you do yours and I do mine, we see the other side of this. We do.
I mean, you heard it here first, and I guess the beauty of this moment in this episode is we get to do this with you as the guest. We have not announced this yet, but I'm excited to share that you can now catch us on NCNW TV, anywhere you watch your podcast. This is brand new, y'all, hot off the press.
Okay. Ownership.
Um, I mean, I'm tripping right now because this is real. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. We are bringing Black media excellence to the table. And I'm not a journalist. I am not that person. But what I am is someone who believes in building up my people. And
Yes, you
I
do.
believe in creating space so everyone sees the trusted voices. And to God be the glory for an Ashley Allison, who is not only in physical beauty, but who in spirit beauty creates space. Because that lip is lipping, friend. Amen. You are looking at Amen. I'll give it to her. God give her
It's a black makeup, Danessa Myers, lip bar. I'm
I
just
have
gonna
on
say
lip bar with you. Shout out to the store. Yeah.
lip bar gives me my life.
Like,
Okay. My life.
shout out, girl. We're gonna see you soon. We both wearing lip bar right now.
Yes. Yes. My
Ashley Allison, thank you so much for being our guest. I mean,
thank you.
I'm grateful to you. Again proud of you, and thank you for hanging out with little old NCNW girl.
Oh, girl. I'm trying to tell y'all, Siobhan knew me when. Siobhan is one of them. She always gonna be big sis. Always.
I
Always.
love it.
Love you.
Listen, you are absolutely Black media excellence. Congrats on the root. Congrats on CNN. Shout out to Abby and all the crew that you're working with all the time. Listen, it's a lot of work, but thank you for joining us. For those that are live, we had a lot of folks sending us notes. Thank y'all for jumping on tonight. It's because it was Ashley Allison. I'd have got on too. I understand. I understand. And that's right. If you have missed tonight live, don't worry. Catch the show on NCNW TV anywhere, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. I am Siobhan Arline Bradley, the president and CEO of NCNW. Thanks for joining us live on Black Media Monday. We love y'all. Thanks,
Love you.
Ash.
Bye.
Bye, guys.